you're right. He's like, they're leach fields. He said, and they had it draining into a pond.
Audience, we'll get started in a moment. We're trying to get someone from the building department here.
And they say they have.
No, they got gutted anyway. They had to separate the two girls, didn't they?
Okay, good afternoon. I'd like to call the October 21st meeting, special meeting of the Technical Review Committee to order. We have one item on our agenda today, and this item is the Anclote Harbor final plan development. This particular application has been before the TRC on August 18th and September 29th, and is back before us today. I think those who are attending probably pretty much know how TRC goes, so I won't get into that. We can go ahead and start if the applicant has anything they want to talk about beforehand.
Question, Pat.
Okay.
Pat, I'm not really sure of the format of this meeting and what we're expected to do here, to be honest with you. We've already reviewed and commented on this project
yeah,
multiple times.
Go ahead.
We really don't want to change anything at this point,
Right.
and they've met all of our requirements, so I'm not really clear.
So there was a revised package that was sent in. Your stuff has already been addressed, so the revisions may not even be applicable to you at this point. So for the other folks that are here, those revised reports and data that were submitted will go through the review process. So if you're good, you're good.
No problem, thank you.
And with that, we'll go to comments. Planning and zoning has gone through everything, and we feel that all the comments are resolved one way or the other, either shown on the plan set, agreed to by the applicant. Some of those items obviously will be conditions on the final plan development, like normal. Things that are agreed to will be conditions. Conditions to have all the permits agreed to and applications and things in the future. But planning and zoning really has no outstanding items at this point.
I would like to ask for clarification. I don't know if this is for you, Ms. Terrapini. In your revised assessment for where we asked you to address the wetland mitigation, and you indicated in the write-up that you would follow the order, that it would either be on site, that was your first preference, or within the planning area boundary. if you get to that point, do you have a site inside the planning area boundary that's identified to do mitigation if necessary, or will you have to find that?
Sorry.
Good afternoon, Cindy Terrapini. I represent the Morgan Group, the applicant. No, we do not have a site identified. We still are pretty confident about the on-site mitigation because we have had an initial review by SwiftMud on that. So at y'all's suggestion, we added that as an option, as our second preference, not that we want to necessarily pursue that, but if we had to, we just, I understood y'all to want us to have that listed as an option so that if it happened, that we wouldn't have to go back through the whole public hearing process again.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, okay.
But no, the short answer is no, we have not identified a site because we feel pretty confident that we'll get approved for the on-site mitigation.
And for the audience, the planning area boundary is defined in our comprehensive plan, so it's inclusive of the city as well as some unincorporated areas of the county, but there are planning area boundary areas that are intended over the the course of time to be annexed into the city, so that's the reference point.
If I could mention one thing before we maybe go to the departments, because I think it mostly would affect you all, Pat, Ms. McNeese and Ms. Vincent. After we submitted the last round, we realized there was a couple of typos. I would call them typographical errors, not major issues, but I want to identify those and let you know that we do want to submit one last PDP, final development plan. And just to be clear, those two things are the base flood elevation was incorrectly shown on the table. We showed it at 9, it's not 9, it's 11. And then the second thing was the 8, excuse me, being corrected. And then the other thing that, as you know, in CAD, you have multiple layers, and so when the CAD drawing was produced for the final development plan, the wrong outdated wetland line was shown on the plans. We still meet all of the wetland setbacks and buffers and all that. It was just incorrectly pulled in. So we're going to fix that on the final development plan. We do, as you know, have a surveyed wetland line approved by SwiftMud with a SwiftMud permit. So it was, for some reason, the CAD, whoever was doing the CAD drawing didn't pull in the SwiftMud approved line. They pulled in a previous version of that that wasn't approved. So those, I just want to be real transparent about it. It shouldn't change the impact. It doesn't change any of the setbacks. Doesn't change anything of that. It's just those two items that we wanted to correct. So we will submit the final development plan. I think it's easier just to give you the whole plan set.
Yeah, let's just do that, and we'll, as soon as we get that, then we'll upload it onto the website for the general public.
And then if there's anything else today that we need to revise, we certainly will do, but I just want to mention that.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll just go through the room. Beth?
Both code enforcement and the police have no comments.
Okay, thanks. Nick?
Good afternoon, Nick Macris, Project Administration. Project Administration has no additional comments at this time.
Okay.
Rick Kinney, Fire Marshal. No additional comments.
I got one more.
Okay.
Sorry, I got one more question. In the transportation management plan, you did indicate a bike share. Can you elaborate a little bit on what that is, just for the record so that everybody understands it? Thanks.
So the transportation management plan has a variety of strategies that we're proposing. We're doing 8 of the 12 that are in your code, and part of one of them is to have a bike share program on site. Not exactly sure if Morgan will manage it or a third party. It's more likely to be a third party. But anyway, the purpose of it is to have bikes that are available for free or for very nominal cost for residents to borrow, to check out and take wherever they like, either on the site, or if they want to take them and go downtown or go to the sponge docks or go on the trail, or wherever they would like to go, those bikes will be available for them. We do also, and this is not really part of the TMP, but we do also have, for those residents who own their own bikes, we do have storage for their bikes on this within the buildings.
Okay, thanks.
All right, Ray?
I'm done, yeah.
We have no additional comments at this time from utilities perspective, from public services.
Okay, and I do have a question for you, and that is, we had asked for, remember the analysis for sea level rise on the sewer infrastructure, and you had given them some suggestions on their lift station, similar to what you did at Seabreeze. If we were going to be looking for that, would that be on the building plan set when they submit for building?
Yes, any of
I
that,
didn't, I don't know if it was on this plan set, I didn't look, but I just
no,
wanted
any of
to.
that flood protection stuff would be included in the plan set. I don't
Oh.
believe that's as part of it now. We did research
Okay.
to see if that location would be required to have an emergency standby generator, and it does not meet the criteria by the
Okay.
state to have that. We would have required that if that was the case.
Okay, thanks. All right.
Shannon Brewer, Municipal Arborist. In the Wetland Enhancement Plan, it was indicated that 6,251 trees totaling 12,502 inches will be placed in that wetland enhancement. I did use those numbers during my calculation, and still this project is compliant with 13306 for inch per inch replacement.
Shannon, they did expand the species diversification, didn't they?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
And I saw that on the plan set, they addressed your comment about the height. They made the note on the plan.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Kevin Powell, Building Department. No additional comments for building or floodplain management.
Okay, with that, unless there are any other questions from the applicant or comments, we will try to get you these comments hopefully by the end of the day, but by tomorrow for sure.
Thank you. Seems like it'll be a pretty quick response for us. Sounds like the only document we're going to be resubmitting will be the FDP, the Final Development Plan. And when did you want that resubmitted?
Next week is probably fine.
Yeah, should be.
The final plan, the final development plan is scheduled to go before the board on November 9th.
Ninth,
So, we do
So-
need to turn around the packets,
By like the second,
by the
or the
second,
third
so.
at the very, it's
Okay,
due the
so maybe
morning
we
of
can
the
get through
third.
the hearing next week and then get it to you on Wednesday, Thursday, whatever
That
that.
should work, yeah.
It'll be like the 27th or the 28th?
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you want to submit it electronically or whatever sooner, or as hard, that's fine. We'll
Okay.
we'll get it up, but yeah, that would be,
And do you want just the same number of 3 sets of the paper copies?
yes, I would say, yeah.
Okay, and you don't, I think I've asked this before, but I refresh my memory, you don't need extra copies for the commission on November 9th of anything?
they generally haven't been asking for those
Okay.
in full set. I'll ask if we need to get some additional copies. The other thing for the general public and for the applicant, I do expect to get some kind of a response from Pinellas County Emergency Management, hopefully by the end of this week. As soon as I get that, I'll make that available to you as well as posting it, so.
Okay, all right, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, thank you. TRC is adjourned, thanks.